Hey everyone, welcome to the first intro episode. This episode is going to be a quick breakdown of a couple key things you can expect from this podcast. Number one, we're going to address the elephant in the room of the problem with today's modern society and what people are struggling with. We're going to break down a little bit of our professional backgrounds and our personal stories, just a miniature version of them. What led us to start this podcast, the topics in depth that we're going to cover and that we are so passionate about. And then we're also going to tell you exactly who this podcast is for. Stay tuned to the end where Dr. Tim is going to tell you about our very first series and what you can expect during that series, as well as the rest of this season. So let's dive in. We live in a world full of noise, trends, hacks, and recycled advice that never actually changes anything. Influencers and gurus rule the world. And the real science of behavior change, health, and happiness gets lost in a never-ending algorithm of chaos. People are overwhelmed, dysregulated, exhausted, and stuck in the same endless cycles. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and relationally, people want and need something more, something that goes deeper and gets to the heart of the problem.
We built this podcast because we are tired of watching people try to fix their lives through surface-level solutions, magic bullets, and quick fixes because the real path to change just isn't exciting enough. But the truth is, transforming your life is very possible. It just doesn't happen by trying to piece together random pieces of information that you read online. It takes an approach that factors in biology, behavioral change, discipline, and grounded faith. This is the multifaceted science of how humans actually work.
I'm Holly Joy, a brain and body-based therapist, coach, and serial wellness entrepreneur with over 21 years of experience in the fields of holistic health, neuroscience, somatic trauma healing, and human transformation. I specialize in combining the vital components imperative for change that include nervous system regulation, subconscious mind work, brain retraining, movement, nutrition, and mindset for a complete health spectrum. What I know to be true from my own trauma healing and chronic illness journey is we can't just touch on one area of our lives and expect a systemic transformation to happen. I tried for years to improve one area of my life, only for another to fall to the wayside. I was trapped in cliché self-help theory and proudly identified as a workaholic who could override her body at all cost. Yet I was doing all of this desperately trying to feel like I was enough. I wanted success and fulfillment in all areas of my life. And I wanted it to last, yet trying to juggle everything the internet tells you to do to be happy or healthy just led to confusion, intense crash and burn cycles, and constantly feeling like a failure. At my rock bottom, debilitating chronic illness was the thing that forced me to realize I couldn't keep hustling my way through life. I had to do something differently. And in this frustration, I made it my mission to find a way to integrate the various modalities I'd studied, sift through the lies and the BS, and find a sustainable way to achieve health and happiness. And through a blend of science and strategy, thankfully, I succeeded. And once I mastered that, it became the core of what I teach in my practice. Over the years, I've helped thousands of people do the same.
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm a scientist, a doctor of medical physics, and I bring over 2 decades of experience as a strength athlete and coach. But outside of my day job, my passions focus on performance, discipline, nutrition, optimal health, and helping men create real behavioral change through lived experience and accountability. For a long time, I built my entire identity around strength and achievement. I put my sport and work above everything. So naturally, relationships suffered. My health broke down and my life became narrow and rigid. I didn't believe in anything bigger than my own effort and willpower, and the pressure of constantly performing eventually showed up as crippling stress, anxiety, depression, and even suppressed rage. While trying to cope with all the pain and pressure, I was stuck in addictions that I couldn't escape. My life was clearly broken, and I couldn't live in denial anymore. I tried fixing it the way most men do. I tried pushing harder, optimizing more, hiring endless gurus, healers, chasing the next solution, but I still stayed stuck. Everything changed when I finally let go of my pride, my ego, and resistance, and realized that if I wanted my life to be different, I had to be different. I needed help from something bigger than myself. That shift is what reshaped how I live, how I lead, how I train, and how I show up in all areas of my life, especially my marriage. It's now my hope to inspire other men to step away from their addictions, toxic patterns, and excuses that keep them stuck, weak, and unhappy, and step into true masculine presence, strength, and integrity. So together, we created Vitra, which means vital transformation, because we want to share our knowledge, our experience, and build a community of people who want to embody this simple mantra.
And while we're deeply devoted to learning, growth, and collecting letters after our name, our truest wisdom didn't come from textbooks or certifications. It came from hard failures, long seasons of struggle, grief, loss, and rebuilding our lives more than once. More than anything, we both hold PhDs in what not to do. And that perspective shapes everything we teach and talk about here, and you'll hear it in all of our episodes when we share our own personal experience on our own journeys.
Here's what you can expect from the Vitra Wellness Podcast. This show is about health, healing, and human potential, and its approach through the lens of real life. We'll explore what it actually takes to feel strong in your body, clear in your mind, regulated in your nervous system, connected in your relationships, and rooted in a sense of purpose that goes beyond society's metrics of performance and grind. We'll blend science, practicality, and lived experience as we unpack a wide spectrum of topics infused with faith and meaning. We will cover anything that's relevant to building a life that truly works, not just one that looks good on paper.
Here are the core pillars that we'll cover in Vitra: psychology and neuroscience, the mind and nervous system, and understanding how 95% of our beliefs, behaviors, and identity are shaped through the brain and body, and how to use them to change how we think, cope, and function in a dopamine-driven, pressure-filled world. Cellular health and holistic well-being, basically everything that has to do with the body, cultivating energy, resilience, and physical capacity right down to the mitochondrial level. We'll cover nutrition, supplementation, hormones, recovery, and sustainable biohacking that anyone can do. Addiction, trauma, and the deeper stuff. Breaking cycles of burnout, anxiety, depression, and chronic illness or stress by addressing root causes, survival patterns, and long-held wounds.
We're going to look at relationships and human connection, which means communication, repair, intimacy, trust, and connection in marriages and all relationships, especially those strained by stress, success, and modern life. This is where we're going to take a deep dive into our own struggles over the years and sharing what we've learned over our 11-year relationship. Lastly, we'll look at faith and spiritual growth. This is a fundamental component that documents our personal story of discovering newfound faith as a former atheist, that's me, and a spiritual but not religious person. Through exploration and inquiry, we will discuss questions, insights, and perspectives in a series called Figuring Out Faith, where we share what we're learning, how it's impacted us, and what deepening our relationship with God looks like for us.
This podcast is for you if you're tired of living in the online space and feeling constantly stressed, distracted, or numb. You're sick of viewing other people's lives on screens and seeing viral clips and feeling increasingly dissatisfied with your own life. You're exhausted by political divisiveness, doom scrolling, and the pressure-filled noise of modern life. You want to unplug from the digital machine and live by values that actually feel true and aligned. You're done pushing your body into burnout, exhaustion, and breakdown with no real end in sight. You're tired of grinding to hit goals that leave you feeling completely empty once you get there, and you know there's something more. You're stuck in the same unhealthy relationship and life patterns and crave real connection, repair, and depth.
You want to heal addictions, scrolling, porn, shopping, substances, work, or stimulation instead of normalizing them. You're ready to take radical responsibility for your life instead of blaming the system, your past, or the algorithm. You want to think for yourself, step outside echo chambers, and be challenged to grow. You want real meaning, real community, and a life that actually feels like living, not watching.
And oh yeah, if you're experiencing AI fatigue and sick of everything looking and sounding the same, you should know this show will not be some compilation of generic ChatGPT scripts and regurgitated tidbits like 90% of the content out there these days. We are committed to being human-centric and putting our own brains and the brains of other experts at the forefront of this show. If this sounds like you, we'd love to have you join us as part of the Vitra Wellness movement. Make sure to subscribe to the show, available anywhere you get your podcasts, including YouTube, and pop over to Instagram and give us a follow. Links to connect and plug in are available in the show notes, and we look forward to learning, growing, and transforming with you, mind, body, and beyond. Welcome to the Vitra Wellness Movement.
Hey everybody, I want to thank you for tuning in to our intro episode. I really hope that you are as excited about it as we are. I want to take a quick second to tell you about the upcoming series that we have with Vitra Wellness. We're going to be diving into the 10 core principles that Holly and I feel are most important to implement in a person's health journey. This is going to be appropriate for the beginners all the way up to the health experts. So there'll be something here for everybody.
This podcast is here to support your growth, mind, body, and beyond, and you do not have to do this alone. Our Instagram is a space where we are truly committed to building community and knowing you by name. I know, crazy in today's world, and we can't wait to connect with you there. So make sure to give us a follow, send us a message. We'll see you next time.